So that's what the Bills are gonna have to do, I think, to try to to get over the hump or make some signings and free agency in those positions. I think their front line is still pretty good. They just got to retain their younger guys. I know guys like Von Miller, he might be up out of there. I don't know if he's still going to stick around or not, or just hop with another team that's a contender that's going to let him chill for most of the season, just pop out for the playoffs for a few snaps. They still got some big guys up front. Maybe just tweak their philosophy a little bit up front and how they want to stop the run. On the offensive side, I think they're all good at running back. O-line is still good and strong. And like I was saying, I think maybe they should add someone like a Cooper Kupp maybe if Amari Cooper isn't there. Shoot, I'm trying to think because they seem complete for the most part also. But what they really need to do, I mean, Joe Brady's a good play call and everything, but once these playoff games come, switch up your philosophy a little bit. I know you turned into a running team and everything this season, more emphasis on the run this season, but you got to switch up the philosophy and the scheme a little bit more and let Josh Allen be Josh Allen again a little bit. Just balance it out. Be like, yo, let him show y'all. Like, you know what I mean? He going to throw all on. We're going to have many options. I think they need to switch that to let Josh, pick his poison and have so many options that the defense has to defend every person on the field. They don't know who it's going to go to. Instead of the defense being like, well, we know they're going to run. We know they're going to run. When we do stop on the run, we know that Josh is going to, if we stop everything else, if we stop Shakir and stop the tight ends, we know Josh is going to try and lob it downfield for a bomb or just try and throw an outside comeback route to Coleman. Like, nah, switch that shit up. Have Coleman do some digs sometimes. Maybe it doesn't always have to be a 25-yard dig. Maybe it could be an 8-yard and he could run after the catch, or have Cooper Kupp come in the slot or whatever, or have Amari Cooper, do a little bit of a short and post route, or do a drag route, or do a stop route or something for 8 yards, as opposed to being like 12 or 15, because Josh Allen has a big arm and he could roll around and stuff. Make the motherfuckers, make the defense hurt while death by 1,000 cuts, some more precision or something. And then you could do your run game with Cook and Todd Johnson and Ray Davis and them niggas still. And maybe you could fuck around and do a jet motion instead of just doing screens all the time to Shakir when he's out wide in the slot and everything. You know what I mean? So maybe switch that up, because I feel like they're a complete team as well. And Josh Allen can still sling it. And motherfuckers are still scared of that shit. So I think that's what they could do. Next, I just want to talk about the AFC and the AFC division, the playoff guard. Like, outside of the Chiefs, like, who the fuck could really beat? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck could really be the next teams that we could see for years to come getting into the big game? Like, who's gonna knock off Mahomes? You know what I mean? Who could be next? And some of the teams that come to mind, obviously, who, I think are still going to be able to be, perennial playoff pushers and everything like that. Of course, the Bills, the Ravens will be there. But now we got to talk about the Bengals. Teams like the Bengals, Texans, Chargers, the Broncos. Bo Nix looks good. They're going to show up that defense. Defense is solid to good. They just need some more offensive pieces and shit. Steelers and Dolphins, I don't know. I mean, what the fuck are the Steelers and the Dolphins really going to do? And maybe with the Dolphins, it's more just showing up their defensive pieces and their philosophy on that side of the ball, and maybe changing up some things on the offensive side of the ball for them too. Maybe also get a backup quarterback, because, Tua be getting hurt and shit like that. But the Steelers, I don't fucking know. One thing, though, you can't count them out, because they for damn sure is going to have a good fucking defense year in and year out. But their offense, they going to have to change their philosophy, because I think they got some players on there. They're probably going to need, I don't know. I still think they got some players on there that could do some shit. I seen Calvin Austin have a couple nice little highlight plays this season, but they don't run an offense or set up an offense consistently to do that type of stuff. But I get it. You had Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Those motherfuckers are not known for precision and rhythm passing all the time. You know what I mean? It's either running around and throwing a bomb or just running around in the case of Justin Fields. But they got some guys there that they could play with, you know what I'm saying, and scheme up some, but I don't know if they're gonna be the ones. Dolphins, what the fuck are they really gonna do? I don't think they're gonna be. They can't play in the cold still. Even another team, the Bengals, what the fuck are y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna keep being cheap and shit, or y'all gonna pay the niggas, or y'all gonna figure out and finesse some type of way to keep that big three together and Joe Shiesty, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins? You gotta keep them niggas together. They got to a fucking Super Bowl in Joe Burrow's second year. They got to a fucking Super Bowl. They could get back. They're the only team that really had a chance to take Kansas City out that year when everybody's like, oh, they going to the Super Bowl again. And they was like, nah, fuck that. We going to the Super Bowl. And they beat them in Kansas City. So what the fuck are y'all going to do? Y'all get y'all fucking defense right. Draft right. Get a new DC in there. It's going to have a whole different scheme and philosophy to beat the Chiefs and everybody else around them. Not just the Chiefs, but you got to beat Lamar too, because Lamar definitely did a thing against him this year, both times. You know what I'm saying? So draft really well on defense, get them defensive backs right. Also replenish on the edges, because those guys are going to want their money, or they're going to want out, or they're probably going to fuck around and get traded and shit. You know? So draft on the edges again, on that front line. Draft that backer again, because those guys are getting up there also. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, draft your players that are good in coverage and good against the run. I feel like some teams don't draft versatile players like that, and the winning organizations do. You know what I mean? They draft players where, for the most part, they're versatile. Look at the Eagles right now in the Super Bowl. Cooper DeJean could play slot corner and safety and outside corner. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, when he came out, he could play slot corner. Out. He played some outside corner a bit with Florida, and he played safety. Now he's a safety now. You know, you got defensive tackles that don't just take up space in the middle and stop the run. They could rush the passer too. Their edge rushers look like fucking linebackers, like they could drop in coverage, but they rush the passer well. And Zach Bone, who was coming out of Wisconsin, a bit of an in-betweener nigga, he could rush the passer and he could play in coverage and play linebacker. And look at him. Same thing on Kansas City side. Mike Danner, Karlaftis, who it looked like he was playing outside linebacker on the edge sometimes coming out of Purdue. Mike Bolton and shit. He was an outside linebacker at Missouri. They put him at middle. They hop him in and out. Sometimes he looks like he's playing like a fucking safety. Sometimes he looks like he's playing like an edge rusher. Their corners that they drafted, they played some safety in college, or it looks like they're playing safety sometimes in the scheme, or playing slot, playing outside. Justin Reed, he's playing linebacker and safety. You gotta be versatile, man, if you want to be successful and get to the fucking big game. So that's what the Bengals better do. What the fuck are they gonna do? But the main thing, they better motherfucking keep shoring up that offensive line and make sure you keep that fucking big three together. Because you gotta score more points than the other team. Even if your defense is nice, because Mahomes and them, they still going to get off on a good defense. But draft well on that side. And just speaking on that, before I wrap up here with this volume, this episode, I just want to touch on a little bit what I feel like it takes to succeed in the league and maintain, staying competitive and building a winning team here, man. It's like you got to be able to draft and develop. Drafting, development, and coaching. That shit fucking matters. But a lot of motherfuckers think they're one big trade, one old veteran quarterback, or one quarterback away from being there and shit. And it's like, nah, you get this shit take at least between a 3 and 5 year span. And how does that work? When you build from the ground up from drafting. You draft well, then you have the assistant coaches that help develop whatever they're already good at, and also add on to what they get better at. You develop there with those assistant coaches, those position coaches and shit, those coordinators and everything like that. And then the head coaching also matters to set the culture and the philosophy, the type of team we want to present out there to the fans, the type of product we want to put on the field, what our identity is, who the fuck we're going to be. And then you make sure them schemes is right and they align with the personnel. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a personnel that's versatile, like I was just kind of saying, you draft those positions on both sides of the ball that could be versatile. You know what I'm saying? You line to the personnel, you have more chances of being successful against your opponent than not. Instead of being like, damn, our left tackle going, so now it's a turnstile there. We fucked. Look at the Chiefs. They got Joe Tooney out there. Like, yeah, I played some tackle in college. Like, yeah, I'm a guard. I'm an all-pro guard, but I'm out here playing tackle, and they still winning playoff games. You know, so that shit is really personnel, drafting, and development, man. They all got to align with the scheme or be able to adapt also if you have to do a different scheme or you have to adapt in a different type of game. Because this is what both of these teams that are in the big game, the last game of the season, these are the things that they're going to do. They're going to adjust the scheme a little bit because they have the personnel that's versatile enough to adjust to that shit. Both sides of the ball, OCs and the DCs, you know? So that's just my little 2 cents on that real quick on what I think you got to do to be successful, build a successful team in the league, and stay competitive and successful year in and year out. There was a time that it looked like the Steelers were like this. If they weren't winning Super Bowls, they were always in the playoffs or they were almost there in the Super Bowl again. You know why? Because they draft and developed crazy. And they also had the thing, too, where they were getting some of them niggas out of there at the right time. The Patriots also, as much as I fucking hate the Patriots also, I don't know about the drafting part all the time, maybe a little bit here and there, but they knew how to get motherfuckers out of there at the right time when it was over for them. Because some of them dudes went to other teams and they didn't do shit. I'm talking about Patriots players. Some of the Steelers players, we seen what they did on other teams, and they still did their thing a little bit. But yeah, draft and developing, man. And being known for drafting at certain positions that make an impact in the game or make an impact of being a championship or a competitive type team, a championship contending type team. That's what that shit is about. Building a team, building a roster, building a personnel, and it's an alignment with your scheme or alignment with if you have to change and adapt and adjust your scheme. And coaching and development. You know, but that's just my little 2 cents here. That's going to wrap it up for me here with this volume 26, episode 26 of Welcome to the Franchise. I'll be back to tapping some more with this football shit with the big game coming up for the Super Bowl. But y'all out there, be easy.